Here we are at example 5 from our 0.4 set of notes. We're asked to solve, in this case, for A. So we want to get A all by himself, and we notice that we have a bunch of stuff that really has nothing to do with A. So we can go ahead and then subtract all this stuff over to the other side. Because the -4 is stuck and glued to A, we'll just hold off to that for a moment. But again, what we do to the right side, we have to do to the left side, so we're going to subtract all that stuff that we just did. Or add it, depending on what the operation calls for. And when we do that, we end up with -12d minus 8r plus 1. We have our g that was over there originally. Equals, on the right side, this 12d, the positive 1, cancels out with the negative 12d. This positive 8r cancels out with our negative 8r. And this negative 1 cancels out with our positive 1, leaving us with just our -4a. From here, what we can go ahead and do is look and see, well, we have -4. It's stuck and glued to the a because it's being multiplied by it. So in order to get rid of that -4, we're going to go ahead and divide -4 on both sides. And when we do that, on the right side they end up canceling, leaving us with just the a equals. Now there's a couple ways that we can go ahead and proceed with this. There could be a little rule here that says you can't have a negative and negatives on the top and bottom. For me, it's not too much of an issue, so if you just kind of kept this line all right here, that would be acceptable. However, you may have some teachers that say, well, we have too many negatives on top, there's a negative on the bottom, you know, let's simplify that slightly more. And what that would look like is pretty much just looking at, well, negative 12d divided by -4 comes out to be positive 3. Negative 8r divided by -4 comes out to be positive 2r. Positive 1 divided by -4 comes out to be -1/4. And positive g divided by -4 comes out to be -g/4. Again, it really depends on who you have as a teacher, just kind of what they want. But for me, if we had left it originally like a equals -12d minus 8r plus 1 plus g all over -4, you probably would have been okay. Another way that we could have done it is actually taking out a negative from every single term. And we'll talk more about this in some of the future videos for this assignment. So a is equal to negative. Well, the opposite, if we pulled this negative out of the 12, we'd end up then with regular 12. If we pulled the negative out of the 8r, then we end up with positive 8r. If we pull a negative out of positive 1, that would give us -1, because a negative times the negative would give us the positive. And then likewise, we could pull a negative out of this positive, because a negative times a negative, we get the positive. Now the whole reason why we would do this, all of this, is because on the bottom we also have -4, while the positives then come up, because a negative divided by negative is a positive. So it really doesn't matter to me which one you go with. If you decide to simplify it using the butterfly method, that's fine, because there is just one term down there. If you just leave it alone to begin with, that's fine with me too. Or if you really like a lot of positive stuff, you could write it taking out negatives as well. But again, I'm good with really either three of those, any of those three. Again though, that is example 5 from our 0.4 set of notes.